Alright, so the smiling faces. Alright, I was supposed to do this one a day or two ago, but, well, you all know me. It is what it is, life's a bitch, let's just move on with it and dive straight into the battle. So, this battle, just like the proselytes, is, well, it's kind of bog standard, at least by Project Moon's standards. I've been over that in that other video as well. It's not an insult, it's just, it's nothing too pops out at you, but at the same exact time, it works really well for what it's supposed to be used for, so it's pretty good. I thought it was a decent fight. But let's just move into the actual mechanics of it and all that other stuff. Anyway, this is actually a 2-act stage play, which is a little different than the proselytes fight, but for good reason I would... Well, actually, nah, not so much. I guess, I don't know, they're a little bit weaker than the proselytes, I would say, though, and the proselytes have, like, that special AI where they love to gank people and stuff, so yeah, it's probably a good balancing mechanic that they have right there, but either way, these guys are a little bit weaker than the proselytes on that regard, but their mechanic is still pretty fucking strong if you are not careful in this fight. And the mechanic, of course, that I am talking about is smoke. It doesn't necessarily say the fine mechanics of how it affects things numerically, but we will get into that one as we go through this. So basically, smoke is generated on either per use or on hit. I think those are the only two ways that they generate smoke based off of the pages from the smiling faces. It'll generate a smoke card either on themselves or on their enemy, depending on if it is on hit or on use. And their pages, their key pages that is, are the only ones that are able to not have any downsides to having smoke affect themselves. So they only enhance their outgoing damage, which means if they have 9 or more smoke on them, then they do an extra strength on anything that they do, which is pretty fucking strong, in my opinion. But the other problem with smoke, as well, is when you inflict it on your enemy and then they have smoke on them, it increases damage that they take percentile. It keeps going up. I don't have actual figures and numbers to give you. I have not tested or looked at them, but it increases percentile with each consecutive stack that you wind up putting on them. I would guess probably about 5% a stack, but that is just me throwing a number out there for you. Take that with a grain of salt. That makes this fight incredibly fucking dangerous when you take damage from the enemy, regardless of what your resistances even look like, because it's just going to buff it by like a giant... 30% damage doesn't sound like that much in certain games. It depends on the game that you're playing, but like in the Library of Ruina, again, where you don't have a whole lot of HP regen, you can just heal that shit back. 30% increased damage if they happen to hit with like a 3-cost page that hits for like 20 damage, not to mention calculating weakness and resistance and strength and all that other shit. That's a lot of fucking damage to do to your librarians right there. That is easily a third of their health bar or more. So yeah, this is a pretty substantial buff that you wind up getting from the smoke cards, which apparently this is one of the 3, what I am reading in my comment section, as one of the 3 main archetypes that endgame decks are built off of, based on the current meta, at least right now. I like smoke, because it's just a very straightforward mechanic that makes sense. I like it a lot more than Singleton, and it's just a lot more consistent sounding to me, okay? Mind you, sounding. It sounds a lot more consistent because of the fact that you have more... You can put more of the same type of combat page that you like. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I prefer to stack pages that I like inside of my decks so that I don't have just the one singular page if I wind up needing it for a certain situation, but it's a 1 in 9 chance that I draw it. You know what I mean? So I like being able to stack more than one combat page of a type that I really enjoy in this game. So smoke allows you to be able to do those things. The only problem is that it requires you to actually use those pages to be able to get the full benefits of smoke, because you need to be able to generate the smoke through those pages. So I don't know how that's going to wind up working out later on down the line. Maybe there are better smoke pages after them, but I don't know. So we'll have to see how things pan out later on down the line. So this is going to be a little different compared to the last time that I did this video, because I literally have 0 pros and cons aside from 1 pro. There's not really anything I can pull apart from this fight. It's really fine as hell as it is. I don't really see any issue with it. I don't really see anything that particularly stands out with it, but the one pro that I do have with this fight is the fact that it just feels really interactive, which is odd and not a common thing that you do see with a lot of these just the standard story progression stage play fights is what I'm looking for. That's the word that I'm looking for, rather than the abnormality fights. Those are usually where, like, they really go all in with the mechanics and the fun shit right there, is with abnormality fights. And then these ones, they give you room to breathe, but ironically, room to breathe, that kind of works for this as a pun, more or less. But, what I'm trying to say is that, like, the main issue with fighting these guys is making sure that there's not too many smokestacks on people. So there's a lot of paying attention to that mechanic as you're going through there on who is taking this, and you pay more attention to who's taking damage where and who is intercepting what as you can, so that you can mitigate the amount of smokestacks that are given to your characters. It adds a whole entire dynamic to the fight on that regard, beyond just taking damage. At least it does for me. I'm not sure how detrimental it could have been, but I imagine taking specifically Deep Drag, which is their 6 to 19 card, or whatever the hell that it is, their 3 cost with the evasion die, that is a dangerous card to go against, because of not just the 6 to 19 damage that can be amplified by smoke, but the evasion die at the end of it. So you really want to try to counter that with a defense die, because if you have extra attacks at the end of that, say it's like a block and then 2 attacks after that, and they're low, you're just going to feed fucking stagger resistance to them, which you don't want to do that with evasion die. You especially don't want to do that. Every stagger that you get on your enemy, or every stagger that you don't get on your enemy, rather, lessens your chance of beating that fight more and more. So you want to stagger people as much as humanly possible, and take full advantage of that lack of attacking that is happening to you, the lack of pressure, and just fucking retaliate with it. And like I said before, even if you're not going for a kill with a stagger you want anyway, because that is less attacks that you have to deal with on the next round. You can focus on something else if need be, especially during the second act of this stage play, where you have a bunch of people with 2 speed dice rather than just the proselytes that had the 1. So you really want to get those fucking staggers on these guys, is what I'm trying to tell you here. And because of the fact that you're dealing with smokestacks and trying to divide them among everybody so that you're not taking too much damage, it just makes the fight so much more fucking interactive than fights typically are in this game, in my opinion. It's not even really an opinionated thing, it's actually kind of just fact, to be honest with you, but in my opinion, I like it a lot more than I do most other fights in the game for that reasoning alone. So there's the opinion part. The fact is that it is interactive because, you get what I'm saying. You guys understand what I'm trying to say here. It just forces you to pay attention to things other than just damage and stagger, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's actual, I don't know, just strategy and stuff that you're trying to pay attention to that keeps you awake, rather than just rinse, wash, repeat, do more damage than the enemy does and kill them before they kill you stuff, you know? That being said, however, I can see this fight being pretty fucking difficult over just the simple reasoning that you only have 1 floor to work with to be able to go into here, so we're gonna just take a quick minute to talk about floors as well. I never really dug into this one too much, guys, but we're gonna go into it anyway, especially now that I have Keter floor taken care of and we can use it again. I would recommend Keter floor almost all the time as a good all-rounder floor. That or Netsack. It depends really more on your playstyle. Do you need that extra healing from Netsack floor and all that other stuff? Or do you want a more optional offensive approach that you can do with Keter floor? Keter floor kind of just meets all of your fucking needs and necessities for just about anything. It works with any deck, and I will always recommend that for people to use for that reasoning alone. It could be a little boring because there are so many other floors that you can use, and it really just depends on if you have like a deck that's a little bit more niche that works with those other ones. But my recommendations always that I will say for people, if you just want a nice all-rounder floor for taking care of things and you don't feel like moving around a lot of pages or just optimizing things here and there, Keter floor or Netsack floor is always the fucking way to go. Netsack floor, it is just impossible to goddamn die using Netsack floor because there's just so many heals, so much stagger regeneration, all of that fucking shit. It just makes you impossible to kill. And if you combine it with She Corporation pages, well, there you fucking go. You won't be getting the TOC page passive for under 25% because you're going to be healing. But I mean, fuck it. If you can be playing a Eugen page with fucking 160 HP on it because you recovered that much, then does it really matter at that point that much? It depends on your playstyle, obviously. I'm not going to tell you guys that you shouldn't use Hod Floor or you shouldn't use fucking Yes Odd Floor, because that's just retarded to say to people. It depends on how it synergizes with the decks that you have. I personally am very lazy to go through all of the different decks that I have, and unless I have something in front of me that people put up, or I know something that works and synergizes with the abnormality pages that I have, I don't like using those floors personally for that reasoning alone, because I have to specialize those decks to work better with the cards that they use, you know, like blunt damage and stuff for Yes Odd Floor, or slashes and bleeds for Hod. You know what I mean? Like, there's not very many good game-changing pages that I have seen abnormality-wise on those floors. I'm sure they exist, and I'm sure that you can get them to work really well, but it requires having the right deck set up to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you need to synergize with it. That's all that I'm saying. Keter and Netzach are easily like the most all-rounder. You don't need to necessarily spec towards them. They just work with everything. And I'd even include Malkuth into that one a little bit, because you have a couple of good abnormality pages in there as well. I don't have the information directly in front of my face right now, but I do know that Footfalls, and I call it Matchstick, but it's not Matchstick. It's something else. But it's the one that just deals damage to anybody that deals damage to that librarian. That's the one that I love to shit on, but I'm just joking. It's actually a pretty useful card. Absolutely, because it's just very simple, and it just adds spike damage to a librarian of your choosing. So obviously the downfall is if they don't attack that fucking librarian, then you're not getting the spike damage, but like, it doesn't matter. It's still a good card, you know what I'm saying? There's that, and then you have Footfalls, which is if you're about to lose a librarian, you fucking reflect damage back to them, which is a lot of spike damage right there. Let's not forget the Teddy Bear card that increases clashing power, but decreases one-sided attack power, which is a fucking strong as hell card. It got nerfed to, like, oblivion, but it's still good. Still a very good card, having, even if it's just 1 to 2 power. I don't think that's what the rolls are, but even if it's just 1 to 2 power, having that added into a clash can make or break a clash. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have some pretty strong cards on Malkuth Floor as well that just kind of work all-rounder with everything, so I would include Malkuth Floor as well, but for the rest of them, you kind of need to synergize things around it, at least at the stage in the game that I have seen. There are some that are pretty useful, but not too much that I've seen that really stands out and jumps at me. It's just my preference. I like something that is all-rounder that I don't need to do a whole lot of fine-tuning for, and I get that shit out of Keter Floor every fucking time. So let's also not forget about the fact that there's not a lot of cards that have detriments to them that I notice in Netzach and Keter Floor, which is a large of the issue that I say too with that. It really depends on if the gains outweigh the losses or the downfalls of it. And I just like the fucking pages that just give me a flat out bonus rather than you get this bonus, but at this detriment. And more often than not, those other floors that I had mentioned that I don't really use too much, the detriment is just weird to me, and I don't like playing around the detriment for the fucking bonus that you get for it, so that's also the part of it as well. Even though Fervent Beats does have a heavy cost to it, though, Fervent Beats also basically makes that character into a killing machine for 3 fucking... You know what I mean? Like, it's such a good card, but it obviously costs the librarian's life, but like, if it's going to end the fight anyway, does it matter? So like, I love that floor so damn much. But again, that is still very heavily preferential. That being said, though, let's move into the actual subjective territory of this, which is the story side of it, how things work narratively with this fight. I really liked it. I don't have anything too much to say aside from this cutscene was a lot more normal, you know, like, let me explain that one before I go more into detail here. So, first off, the proselyte cutscene just kind of fucking threw me off. It was a really weird thing once they were getting into the whole, like, alright, cool, here's your prescript. You need to use a hula hoop for 348 and 1/4 seconds while waving to the nearest You know what I mean? Like, it just, when it came to that shit right there, I was like, alright, it's kind of throwing off my immersion a little bit here, which is fine. That's kind of the point of what they do with that. They kind of really throw some things in there that just are really weirdly unsettling, because it's just nothing that you can fucking compare it to, really, because it's just odd. It's kind of like the circus scene, like, you know what I mean? Except that cutscene was like half the fucking scene of the circus scene, so that, I was pulled out of my immersion for a completely different reason for the circus cutscene, but like, this one was just odd. And then of course you had the fucking machine with the little girl's voice that reminded me of the, insert the picture on the screen again, of those machines from Ghost in the Shell. Somebody told me what they were called as well, so put the text on screen as well with it. But those fucking things, it just reminded me of that. Just my immersion was really thrown off in that last cutscene for that shit. And then we have this where we're getting pulled right back into like the nitty-gritty of things, and then the blue reverb and the colors and all that other stuff, and it just felt more grounded. So I personally liked the cutscene a lot more. It was straight to the point. That She Corporation dude is a bit of a douchebag. And you know what? I don't care about him at all. He's an asshole. I just want fucking Tenma and Eugen, and I guess Valentin's cool too. But, you know, just, yeah. They're fucking so much more bros than that guy is. That guy's an asshole. Fuck that guy. So, that's all that I really have to say about the fucking cutscene thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it fits narratively, I guess. I don't really know any more about the smiling faces right now than what they gave you in that cutscene, unless there was other stuff before that I don't know about, so, like, it works. Maybe we'll learn more about them later on down the line, or we can read stuff out of their key page books and stuff, so that'd be pretty neat. But that's not going to be until the next lore reading episode. Either way, though, that's everything. Again, this was off script. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. There just wasn't much to say about this fight anyway, so I just went on a fucking tirade with the fight in the background. So, yeah, hopefully that was entertaining to somebody out there. I'm going to try to record more as soon as humanly possible. I'm going to try not to wait until, like, next week to do it, though, but it just depends on how my life rolls out, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling a whole lot of fucking motivation to do a lot of anything these days, so that being said, I will see you guys later on. Take it easy.